please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's Log, Subdates 230608.3. We're going to hold position over the weekend and try to hack Subfleet's encrypted systems. I honestly believe they're trying to screw with me, and I may be forced to push plans ahead sooner than, well, initially expected to exterminatus the feck out of them. Welcome everyone to This Week at Twitter, or Twat. Today we're going to start with a couple trends of interest. The first, go woke, go broke. Trending in food. I wonder why. In a recent video I published to Rumble, by all means go follow me there, it's in the pinned comment and the video description. Give me a follow, trying to hit 1,000 followers by the end of the year. We discussed the continued fallout to Bud Light. Now my main point isn't the boycott, it's that this is the hill some people choose to die on because it's a 3.5% weak-ass drink. Whiskey is superior. If you'd like to support my alcoholism, it's on my Amazon wish list. Also linked in the video description. But we did speak about the fact that these continued consequences are going to persist because a line has been drawn and you're either one thing or another, because absolutes are what people deal in. In this instance, it's because of, well, what companies have lost since indicating they appear to be a form of woke. Budweiser took a $24.19 billion hit. Target $12.7 billion. Kohl's stocks fall 5.2%, and Fox News over $800 million in market value plus a viewership drop. In the case of Fox News, I do believe the loss in revenue and viewership was because they chose, as part of, I believe, an agreement, to get rid of Tucker Carlson rather than back their man. Whether there's any validity to whether or not they were right to getting rid of him or not, I'm not interested. I couldn't care less. Consequences exist because a court of public opinion is and has always been vehemently against having things shoved down their throat that they don't want there, or having things taken away from them that they like, they enjoy, they consume. If you, the company, decide to deviate from being somewhat apolitical, I say somewhat loosely, and you alienate a percentage, based on political lines where there are apparently only two choices, you run the risk of losing your actual core user base. Over the years, a number of companies, movie theaters and producers and all that lot, have tried to produce more what has been dubbed woke content. No one's gone to go and see it because it turns out you alienated the core viewership, the casuals, who are not interested in what we, commentary people especially, spend our time on the internet complaining about. Because it's not as important as you might think it is. And you are not as important as you think you are. The core viewer, the casual viewer, they are the most important people. If you can't appease them or be on their side because you are trying to be something different to what you are meant to be, you're going to lose your audience, or some of them, some of your consumers. Now to move on from one deluded set of companies to another one, Just Stop Oil. Trending on Twitter, they trend a lot. The reason they are trending now is because the casual, the very people they would want on their side, are revolting against them. But before I show you something relevant, we're going to go to one tweet from Just Stop Oil. Just Stop Oil supporters march in Kensington and Battersea because they can't do it anywhere else in the United Kingdom. They're all middle-class white twats. And apparently it's the England cricket team bus, another middle-class sport that no one cares about. They might know a bit about batting collapse, but the climate crisis is no one-day international. It's our biggest test. Oh, the play on words, it's so smart. I actually can't stand cricket. It is the most boring sport on the planet. Included is a 26-second video. To the second tweet, Garibaldi the Great. Guy just drives through these Just Stop Oil nutcases. I love it. That is how you deal with them. And the guy legitimately has no interest in giving them the time of day. Although you have no doubt I have no doubt especially the police will be looking for him and charging him with premeditated attempted murder. To the third, another successful bypasses a Just Stop Oil Slow protest. Paul Golding tweeted that 16-second clip video. At some point, you deluded morons are going to end up getting hurt. The police on multiple occasions now are preventing you from protesting. I agree with the right to protest 100%, but you should not be causing people such inconveniences because you want to get your message out in your little groups. You're not playing the game. And by the way, your group is getting smaller. These little protests at most have a dozen people in them. Your only impact you are having is alienating yourselves further from the oikory. You couldn't be any more middle-class, white-privileged trash if you try. What I love seeing on Twitter, because it takes effort to archive everything relevant, is a good quote retweet back and forth. Because why bother replying when you generate more attention for everyone to see via quote retweets? Yes, consider that a shot at everyone involved in this. To an extent. We'll find out who's right soon enough. We'll start with a tweet from Rolo Tomasi, which I thought was a math core ban. It is, but there's also a Twitter user called that. You, too, could be making a lot of money with an art degree. You just lack the insight to see how best to apply it. Destiny retweeted this with, I paid more in taxes last year than this guy grossed. Retweet by Raccoon. You realize if you took away your money, your life would be hell, right? The only thing that makes people think you aren't a pitiable loser is the money you have. Take that away, and literally nobody in the world would want to be you or friends with you. It is wild when you realize that if you take away Destiny's money, he becomes a sad little unemployed man without any skills who lives at home while his wife goes out to have sex with other men for money. Retweeted by Destiny. You realize if you took away the successful career you've spent your entire life building over the past 13 years, then you would have nothing, right? I mean, yeah? I don't know what the point of this is supposed to be, lol. Retweeted by Remnant Posting. Your existence revolves around this persona to the point that there's no separation of the real you. This is all you are with or without money. When you're on your deathbed, you're not going to say, I wish I had spent more time on internet arguments. It is impossible to understand Raccoon's point from a wholly materialistic perspective, like the one Stephen holds. If that's how you see the world, then money and social media engagement is all there is. And then carrying on by retweeting someone else, Destiny decided to reply to this with a very serious response. I'm sorry, my dude, but this always is and will always be just sad. Sad coat. I'll take a stab at it for once with a serious reply though, because I see these OMG you're actually miserable comments pop up so much. And it's kind of sad once you realize who these comments come from. You have a particular way that you view the world, and you are too ignorant to see any other shade of existence beyond the one that you inhabit. The truly sad thing is, you probably, 1, didn't even come up with this particular view. You inherited it from a YouTuber or podcast because you felt some sort of lack of meaning and purpose in life. And 2, you're probably a failure within that particular point of view of the world as well, because you're lacking in so many areas of your life. I can tell, as can any other successful person, because most successful people realize there are tons of different paths to happiness. The only people who think there is a single road to happiness are people who haven't even begun the journey themselves. I am living a literal dream life. Every day I get to wake up to a beautiful wife, hit the gym in Miami Beach apartment, then turn on my stream and enjoy games, music, an audience, girls, political debates, memes, jokes, arguments, and discussions among friends. Travel around the world, a cool apartment to bring my son to, fun with him when I travel to Nebraska, an awesome set of friends and colleagues. There are challenges, of course, but it's fun to meet those head on. For you, the twist my entire life into misery that you'll regret on your deathbed, while you pound away at the keyboard, is unbelievably sad, and reveals more about your life than you could ever hope to expose about mine. You're not convincing me, a third party, or even yourself, that the things you're saying are true, and every single person knows you would give everything you have in life to trade places with me in an instant. To an extent, he's not wrong. It does come across as very disingenuous when people just attack because successful, or believe that he will have nothing to be proud of when that goes. Forgetting here that Destiny has been around for a long time. He has built this. Where he is, this could be a plateau. Who knows? but he may as well ride it for as long as he can, and he has a good life because of it. I won't deny if I could make the money he makes, yeah, please. Compared to Destiny, I make sod all, and I'd very much like to change that, of course I would. But to compromise on who I am, I don't really want to, because I know to do it you have to court controversy. I'm not okay with that. I accept my lot in life, so one makes the most of what opportunity of success they have, and they don't seek to simply attack someone else for being more successful than they are. It's cool to see others succeed, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. Chateau Bunny. Lies you've been told about Amber Heard and why they aren't true. The lie. Amber Heard has a history of domestic violence and abused her ex-girlfriend. The truth. Her ex has never accused Amber of abuse. Amber was arrested over a verbal argument in an airport, which is not what happened. Amber Heard was charged with hitting her girlfriend. The information was eventually, after receiving a request, deleted under Washington state law from the system itself, but not from all systems. Bitch. Lie. Amber shat on Depp's bed. It was their shared dog Boo who defecated on the bed. That is also not true. The judge discovered the dog had an incomplete mastery of the bowels during the incident, confirming that it was that. The rest of us, no, too big to be the dog. The lie. Amber stole money from sick kids. She didn't donate her settlement. Amber was contracted to donate the settlement in installments over a 10-year period. She was donating. No, she wasn't. And she had not originally agreed to do that over a 10-year period. She said she would donate it. She moved the goalpost because she wanted to spend some of the money and needed it for legal fees. The lie. Amber was cheating on Johnny throughout the marriage. The truth. Depp and his lawyer submitted surveillance videos of Amber getting into elevators with multiple friends and partners, including James Franco. Was that the one she kissed? Your blind defense of Amber Heard is pathetic. A lot of what has transpired over the years with Amber Heard has been debunked. Her ex-wife does in fact still defend her over the fracas at the airport. She believes it's homophobia and misogyny that sensationalized the story, but eyewitnesses said, nah bitch, she struck you. And that Amber also has the utmost integrity, so she doesn't understand why people question her. That, by the way, is from an article I may have to link down below because I can't be asked to cite it. The lie about the defecating, the sick kid donations, and the infidelity have all been debunked. I assume this was done solely to drum up additional interest in blindly supporting Amber Heard. If that is the case, it's quite embarrassing.